Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Oxygen Not Included. Last episode, we left things off in a bit of a dire situation. You can see that both Isaac and Nick are currently in med beds because they both suffer from hypothermia. And overall, the base is a bit of a mess. We're not on the brink of collapse or anything like that. We're not on the edge of losing the game, but we do have a lot of stuff that needs sweeping up. The base is kind of a mess. Our stress is quite high. We're up at 44%. And despite spending a good deal of time in the first two episodes trying to fix this water situation and trying to consolidate all of our water into one location, we have probably a bigger mess than we started with in terms of water. We've got a big body on the right, a big body on the left, and then just this horrible little, tiny body at the bottom that's not big enough to do anything with, but is too big to actually mop up and put back into one of the two larger bodies. And so things are not looking great, but I did do a little bit of thinking and also a little bit of reading through the comment section between episodes, and there are a few problems with our base right now. One of the problems that we were facing before is that James can't stay on the massage table for too long because he is the one producing the power, and the massage table requires power. You may remember in the last episode, James's stress was quite high, and I made the massage table just for him, and I kept wondering why he wouldn't get on the table. It turns out because the massage table needs power, James is the only one who can produce power, and so every couple of minutes he has to get off the massage table in order to produce more power for the massage table, which is not great. Also, I kind of noticed that although we've got a research machine and we've been doing research, I think, fairly frequently throughout the last two episodes, we haven't got all that much research done. And the reason for that, I believe, is because the people that we have doing research are not very good at it. We have Isaac, who is learning 0. He is just not good at research. And then currently the only person doing research is Nick, who is even worse at research. He has learning -1. And so our only duplicant who is doing research is bad at research, and then James just can't do it. He's a yokel. And so, despite what I've said in previous episodes, I think I am going to go ahead and first of all, increase the priority of this dig command so we can get our printing pod back online. And then once we've got that printing pod back online, I am probably going to take a duplicant on the next cycle. It really does depend on if we get a good one. One that is decent at learning would be nice, and also one that is good creativity would be also nice. I'm not sure we're going to get one that covers both grounds. I don't think we're going to get somebody who is good at research and also good at creativity. If we do, that would be fantastic. If we don't, we'll just choose one or the other. Probably research, because that's one that we're definitely going to need more in the short term, rather than creativity, which we can kind of put off for a little while and then deal with later on down the line. But basically, what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to cancel all of these sweep orders that are underwater, because I think one of the main reasons why our duplicates are so stressed, why our stress level is up at 40%, is because a lot of our duplicates are grimy, and a lot of our duplicates kind of suffer from the soaking wet debuff, which is when they get fully submerged in water and then come back out again, and then don't have access to a shower or a sink or anything that they can use to clean themselves, and so they just walk around in these dirty, grimy, wet clothes. And so until we get a shower, I'm kind of just going to leave the water where it is, and I'm hoping that if we bump the priority on the ration box up to maybe a 7, that our duplicates won't resort to going into the water to get their food. For example, I can see a little bit of meat right there in the water, and I'm hoping that nobody goes down there to eat it. We do have 14,752 kilocalories available in our ration box, and so no one should go down there. Also, I think this only appears when one of the hatches dies, and so that's a shame. I really did want to try and keep as many of those as we possibly could, but somehow I guess one of those ended up in the water and drowned, which is not the best. But what I would like to work on at the start of today's episode is a little bit of planning. First of all, let me get another research going, because I very much so would like to get to sanitation. And to do that, we first of all need plumbing, and we don't necessarily need power regulation, and so I might go straight from plumbing to sanitation. But what I want to work on for now is a little bit of planning and a little bit of kind of forward design thinking whilst we let our duplicates do their thing, because everybody right now has stuff to do. You can see Isaac's making food, Nick's doing research, and James is on the wheel. So nobody is at a loss for things to do. We've also got a bunch of sweeping that still needs doing. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab the tile tool, and I'm going to go to like a priority 2, because I'm not really bothered if this stuff gets done right away. There's a bit of flexibility on when this needs doing. So what I want to do is I want to work on creating a barracks, one of the actual rooms that's going to allow our duplicates to sleep and also get that stamina recovery bonus for the next day. So if we look at the requirements here, I have been told in the comment section that you can have more than one bed in a barracks and have it still classify as a barracks. It does say room criteria 1 bed. I don't know if that means minimum 1 bed or that you can only have 1 bed, but like I said, people have somewhat confidently in the comment section told me that you can have multiple beds, and so for the time being, I'm going to believe them and hope that you can. And so what we're going to do is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then what is the max room size here? The minimum room size is 12 tiles, and the maximum room size is 64 tiles. So I don't think that we can have it go all the way across, like the full length of the room. Now, we do want it to be fairly big, because of course it does have to hold 4 cots. We're about to get a new duplicate, so 4 of these cots, and then preferably enough artwork or enough decor to actually keep the room looking quite nice, because it's where duplicates are going to spend quite a bit of their time. And so we want it to be fairly large, and so I think we are going to go for the full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I guess that there would make the full 4x6 or like 64 tile wide room. Now, I don't love this because it does leave this like odd, awkward gap over here. Now, we should bear in mind that this is not going to be here, and this is also not going to be here. So it's only going to be a 2 wide gap. So I think actually this might work out okay. And then we'll have a pneumatic door there. We'll fill in these tiles on the floor here and here. And then this is just going to be our barracks. We can fit in quite a few beds in here, I think. Let's go to furniture, cot, and then again, low priority. We don't need this done right away. But if we do 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5, it's kind of the perfect size, right? I don't want to try and like cram as many cots as possible into here. And if possible, I would like to get like a few flower pots put in here as well. Lamps, I think, do also work to improve decor, and later on we do unlock things like paintings and sculptures and ice blocks that we can use as well. But for now, I think what we're going to do is just put down a couple of plant pots in the room like this to bring up the overall decor, and of course dig out all this area like that. And that's going to be our bedroom. The reason I put it there is because it's the nearest space we have, but also it's the top of the base, and so it's really always going to be the most oxygen-rich part of the base. You can see right now, whilst we do probably have more than enough oxygen in this area, the carbon dioxide is kind of slowly but surely creeping up, although our algae terrariums are doing quite a nice amount of work down here to turn this carbon dioxide into oxygen, which then should be rising up through the base and up into this room here. Right now, it has gone dark again now that I've said that, but I think that is just because we don't have really that much ventilation going to this floor right now, and we do have Nick kind of working up in here. Did we unlock gas tiles is my next question. We have not. The airflow tiles are from pressure management. What do we need for pressure management? Also, I need to listen out for that research complete sound more often because I always miss it. But we need to do pressure management, which is down here after ventilation. And then we also have sanitation, which I think I'm going to go for first, just because it gets us the lavatory, the toilet that doesn't like emit polluted air and is also just a little bit more hygienic. It gets us the shower, which stops people feeling grimy, and it gets us the sink as well, which is better at removing germs. And also, with the shower, with the sink, and with the lavatory, you can start to kind of automate the moving of water. We did just unlock the pump here under plumbing, which I guess we are going to have to put in one of these bodies of water, which means straight away here I'm going to kind of go against what I said earlier, and I'm going to have to put one of my duplicates into the water. And I think for now, we'll have our pump like right here. We want it as low as possible to make sure that we don't have to move it in the future. And then I believe we are going to have to hook this up with power. But essentially, what this is going to allow us to do is kind of pump the water from this big body of water that we've got up and into our lavatory, into our sink, and into our shower, so that we don't have to have duplicates constantly running backwards and forwards to do it for us, right? Because right now, if they want to refill the wash basin, somebody has to go and get the water from the pump pitcher down here, and then take it all the way up, from the pump pitcher over here, and then take it all the way up to the washing basin, and then take out the polluted water. And then for now, I don't think we're doing anything with polluted water. In fact, this guy is just not set to anything, so we should set that to output normal water. And for now, polluted water should pretty much just sit on the ground, which is also not great. And also, I can't help but notice that Nick is trapped in here. I don't think they should be trapped. We do have flower pots. Let's go ahead and put in some briar seeds into there, and then copy the setting for the other 4, like so. Nick, why are you not doing anything? We have research that is waiting to go. Are you trapped up there? Do you need like another ladder? Like right there? Really? You couldn't jump down onto that ladder? I guess that makes sense. Although I thought they could... Really? Idle, grimy, and full bladder. Why can you not leave? You got a full bladder. If you start peeing up here, I'm going to be very angry. Why do you not just go down the ladder and away? No, what the heck? Why? Why? Thankfully, even if the pee does get over here, we have protected our water source, and so that should be okay. I'm baffled as to why Nick did not leave before doing that. I mean, now you've just got to mop up your own pee, unfortunately, which is not great. And now you're just eating in it. Oh my goodness, Nick, you're disgusting. Actually disgusting. She can make it down. What the heck? I have no idea what happened there. But nevertheless, things do seem to be somewhat working again, which is quite nice. The pump is down. It does indeed require power. So let me grab wires here. And again, this is going to be a bit of a pain. I think, as odd as it seems, we're going to have our wires run like this into the water and then across like that. Originally, I was going to have them run kind of down and then up and around, but that would just increase the amount of time that a duplicate has to spend in the water, especially for putting down like cables here and here, because they've got to get right down in and then right to the bottom of the source of water to get to that bit down there. And so I think that would definitely cause some form of hypothermia, which is definitely not what we want. And so, how far away are we from completing the sanitation? Quite far away. Again, Nick is not particularly great when it comes to research. He's negative level 1 on learning, which is not great. And also, one thing that is definitely going to put us off from getting that done is not having a supercomputer, which I think, for now, I'm going to have to put down right here. We do have to do a bit of redesigning, I think, when it comes to our base. I like the barracks that we've got here. I think that looks good. And I like the storage level. I like the food level. But like this level and what we're going to do with this room here is kind of just all over the place. It's kind of just thrown down willy-nilly, which is exactly the opposite of what I want to do at the start of the series. But if we do that, that's going to allow Nick to do advanced research, which is something that he does need to do in order to complete that sanitation research. And Nick's stress is rising. I'm not quite sure why. He's grimy and he's sopping wet from, I believe, building this tank. By tank, I mean liquid pump down here underwater. Unfortunately, we are going to have to go back down again now because we do have to pull water out of the pump, up, around, and then eventually probably up to here, where I think we're going to have our shower, our lavatory, and our sink. And then something that we do have to start thinking about sooner rather than later is that once you get the shower, once you get the lavatory, and once you get the sink, you have to pump clean water into them for them to be used, and then pump out contaminated water. You have to pump out this polluted water and have a place for it to go, which right now we don't have. Mostly, again, because we've got so much water all over the place. And one thing that we definitely don't want to do is put the polluted water in with our normal water. And also try and make sure that our polluted water has no way at all to come in contact with the normal water. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put that yet. And I guess we'll come across that bridge when we come to it. We do have to think about where we're going to put all of our stuff. We can turn the polluted water back into normal water using a filter, but I'm not quite sure where we're going to have to set that up. I think we are going to have to do something about this down here and get rid of this water. I'm still not sure how we're going to do it, but we'll figure that out in the future. For now, let us see. How far away are we from the next duplicate? We are 0.2 cycles away, and so we are just a minute and a half, actually less than that, because it's ticking down at more than 1 second per second, which is good. Food's looking good. We're up at 20,000 kilocalories again. We do have unrefrigerated food, which is our life loaf. We should... Again, it's one of the researches we need to do. We should look at getting a refrigerator as soon as possible so we can start storing our life stuff and keeping it for longer. That would be great. How are we doing on bacteria? Things are doing fine. There aren't that many germs about. We could probably do with disinfecting a couple of things just to try and make it a little bit less likely that somebody like dies of food poisoning. But for the most part, everything seems a-okay. And again, once we get the shower, once we get the wash basin, people should start to lose germs a lot faster. But we do now have our printing pod, and so let us see here. I like the fact that Bert has +8 learning, plus 320% research speed could be quite useful. He does have noodle arms, which means he is very weak, and he's also got an irritable bowel, which means that his bladder efficiency is negative 50%, and his stress response is binge eater, which means that he is going to go and eat more food than normal when he gets too stressed. Not great in terms of negative traits there, but that 8 learning could be really useful for giving us a kickstart into that later research. We've then got May, who is kind of an all-rounder. Non-constructive is not the best. Not being able to build is it's like a pretty big downside. Although Mole Hands is quite good, and she's kind of all around pretty okay at everything else. And the stress response of vomiting is not terrible. We can always clean it up. Decor expectation is kind of fine on everybody. Bert does expect the highest decor, but I think 5 is not too high as to be bad. And then Lindsay, good at construction, good at strength, neither of which we really need. And so I think here I'm going to go for Bert. Although he does have more negative traits than normal, and also a stress response that I don't love, I do like the learning. He doesn't have creativity, but I think, again, that's fine. Let's rename you to, I guess we should give it a female name, right? Because we've got Nick and Isaac, who are both female characters with male names. So let's call you Sarah. There we go. And we'll print you out. Print. All right. So, now that he is ready to go, let me go over into our jobs menu. And Nick, never do research again. Just don't do it, okay? Also, we do not want Sarah on the power wheel. That's fine. She's not. All of our new duplicates are automatically set to not go on the wheel. Although, it might not be a terrible idea if we had one of Nick and Isaac get on the wheel every now and again. Maybe Nick, because he's not doing massaging or cooking or anything like that. Just to give James a break every now and again, and also let him partake in things like the massage table that require power to run, especially given that we've only got one tiny battery as kind of reserve power. It's not particularly great. And also, I would like to bump up the priority of our supercomputer to a 6, so that hopefully we can get some of this research done as soon as possible. Where is our newest duplicant? I do not have eyes on the newest duplicant. Where are you at? Am I blind? Oh, no, you're right here. Yeah, okay. Sarah is just doing food stuff. That's fine. She's doing the computer stuff now because it's a higher priority. I think the ration box being a high priority was throwing that off. Oh, no, it'll be the micro motion that was throwing that off. What is going on? Food has decayed. That's not great. We should delete that if we can. Can I, like, get rid of this somehow? Please don't eat it. Oh, no, they're putting it in the compost. That's good. Okay, that's fine. Decaying food is not great, but I think we are still on top of our food production, and so we should be fine. Insufficient oxygen generation. Now, that could be a bit of an issue. Let me check yesterday's report. How are things looking? Yesterday, we produced more oxygen than we consumed. Yeah, no, okay, we are producing, for the most part, an equal or greater amount of oxygen. Today, we are on the lower side. We have removed more than we've used, but I'm confident, hopefully, that by the end of the day, we will have produced more than we've consumed. I think. The algae terrariums are still doing quite a good amount of work. I would like to get those airflow tiles so we can start to move a lot more of this carbon dioxide that's kind of sitting on this bottom level of our base here. I want to get all of this and all of this down to here, and I want to get all of the oxygen from down here up and into the main base, you know, push it up into this top section over here, all that kind of good stuff. Did the research get complete? It did indeed. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's do pressure management next to get that airflow tile ready to go. And I think we're going to deconstruct the massage table and then also dig out these there. And let me check the room criteria again here. So a latrine needs a toilet and a wash station. And so I think what we are going to do, again, on a bit of a lower priority here, let's get the shower. And I think I'm going to have my shower in this room, like maybe there. And then on this side, we're going to get rid of the outhouse and get rid of the wash basin and then replace that with a lavatory and with a sink and make it into a latrine room, like fully encase the room and make it ready to go. So this I want to be like a priority 9, because if we're going to get rid of our outhouse, I don't want anybody peeing on the floor like Nick did earlier today. And so I want this lavatory built as soon as this comes down. So build that ASAP. Get it built right away, and then you can worry about the shower and the sink after that is done. Hopefully nobody is on the brink of needing to pee. It doesn't look like they are. Nobody seems agitated. Everyone looks good. The lavatory is up and running, but we do still have to connect it to water. So let's run this pipe. Actually, no, let's run that back down, set this to priority 9, and then run this up and across and in. And then now is where we have to cross that bridge of deciding where we're going to put all of our polluted water, which, I don't know. I'm thinking in this room here. So let me delete these. I want this priority 9. Get rid of these, and then build me tiles, again, also at priority 9, here and here. I think should be fine. I don't know if this is going to be a great place long-term. Might not even be a great place short-term, because I think the water is going to produce polluted oxygen, but my idea is that we're going to get rid of this water and try and turn it back into normal, drinkable, usable water as soon as possible. So, priority 9, get those built. Priority 9, get me a liquid pipe that comes out of here and then down into here, like so. And I think if we just put a liquid vent right about there, that should go ahead and pull all of the water out of the lavatory down and into here. My hope now is that nobody needs to use the toilet before we get this set up. I completely forgot that the lavatory requires an outflow, despite the fact that I mentioned it earlier in today's episode. And so it looks like we should be fine. I don't think anybody's going to... oh, no. Everyone's going to bed. That is not necessarily a problem. Hopefully everyone is fine. Grimy, Sarah does have a full bladder, so does Isaac, and so does Nick. We could be in for a lot of pee here if things... yeah, there we go. Nick's already gone. Gosh dang it, that's going to make everybody else stressed when they wake up. And there's Isaac as well. Oh, no, please. Oh, I should have put this... I think what I should have done is built the lavatory on this side and then made this the shower room once everything else was done. Is this even set to priority 9? It's not. That is the problem. We need to go ahead and upgrade that real quick to make sure this gets done before... is it Sarah, who has also got a full bladder? Nope, Sarah just peed down here. All right, okay. Well, everybody... the good news is that nobody is going to pee anywhere now because all the peeing... oh, no. Oh, gosh dang it. Well, I mean, I was already kind of done with this water anyway. Can I mop up this little bit right here? Oh, I can. Maybe I can mop up the contaminated bit before it contaminates everything else. Can I get like a level 9 mop down here? I think it might have done it. No, we do have polluted water there. Can I level 9 mop? Can I get this mopped up? No. Okay. Well, we do have a little bit of polluted water, emitting 0 kilograms per second of polluted oxygen. Not great. Not great at all. Definitely a mistake. Something that should not have happened. But what's done is done. Let us do this and this. And then we are going to want to either move this. Actually, I think I will move that to maybe like the center here, just because it seems pointless having that in the lavatory. And then I think we should also replace this with an actual sink. I don't know if that's required. A toilet, a wash station, no machinery. We do have a wash basin. Let me see, under plumbing here. Does that count as a... sorry, not under plumbing, under medicine? Wash basin? There isn't a wash station. And so I'm assuming, yeah, that is now officially a latrine. Nice. And this is also officially a barracks. And so we are going to get a stress relief bonus and the stamina bonus from having both of those two rooms up and running, which is good. We might as well do the plumbing here real quick for the shower, so people can get that out of the way as well. Input like that. And then I guess for now, output like this. It's a very long, probably unnecessarily long pipe, but just in the interest of things being a bit more organized, I figure that will do for the time being. Let us also go ahead and, for now, I guess, do this research. You'll see now that we've got somebody who can actually do research, the research is getting done much, much quicker than it was getting done previously. How are we doing on gas? Things are looking quite good. I think I'm going to move this. Yeah, let me deconstruct this algae deoxidizer. And then under oxygen, let's put... I think 2 more of them right here. Again, that is going to use more algae, but I think it should allow us to keep up with the amount of oxygen generation we need. You can see right now we are a little behind the curve in terms of how much oxygen we are producing. And so we'll try and get this up and running. We'll then go ahead and put down, I think, a few airflow tiles like here and here to allow the oxygen to go right up into the bedroom. And I think also... I'm assuming that gas can move through water, although I don't know if it can. I don't know if putting gas, like these airflow tiles above and below the water is going to allow the carbon dioxide to move from here down to here. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it won't. Maybe it has to go through this way. I'm hoping it does, but I'm also not too sure. Also, that is the research sound. Let's do internal combustion, maybe? Although, no. Do we have what it takes? Oh, no. Refrigeration is over there. Although, I guess we can make our way towards it by doing meal preparation first. And then, very quickly here, let's run some wires over and into here. We do, of course, constantly have to think about the fact that we can only hold 1,000 watts on one line. And so 240 plus 240 is like 500. And then you've got like 620, maybe 630. Plus 60 is like 680. And then plus another 240. We are kind of getting close to that 1,000 watt limit. at which point we are going to have to start breaking up our cabling networks into kind of smaller networks, right? So we have power going from maybe one manual generator to a few machines, and then also power going from, let's say, a coal generator to some other machines to make sure they don't connect, make sure there isn't more than 1,000 watts worth of power trying to go through any one given cable. This oxygen is not yet polluted, which I like, although it is polluted water that does have food poisoning, which I don't love. You can see here, this water has been contaminated with food poisoning because someone peed down here. Thankfully, our good, in air quotes, sources of water are not infected with food poisoning, which is good. I still don't love that our ration box has got food poisoning at all. We should disinfect that as often as possible, just to make sure it stays clean. But for the most part, I think things are going fine. This is not ideal, this whole, like, polluted water up here setup. But, like I say, for the time being, it's okay. The germs are also not ideal. You know, I would rather there be no food poisoning germs anywhere. But for the most part, now that we've got the shower, now that we've got the lavatory, we should really replace this with a sink. But now that we've got things up and running, and also this looks incredibly unsafe, just having a wire in the lavatory like that. What is going on? Food shortage, really? We've got 3,973 calories left. Yesterday we used just over 1,000, but then made none. The day before we produced 10,000 and removed 19,000. I have to assume that's because it went bad, maybe? I'm not too sure. Also, is there still pee here? Yeah, there is. Let's get rid of the pee, guys. No one should have to walk in pee. Also, can I do this? I can kind of temporarily get rid of that. I'm not going to, because as I mentioned before, we can use that. And also what I guess we should do here is put another one of the bottle emptiers, like it's O, not R, like right here, if we can. Where can I put this and have it be effective? I guess we should probably, probably should have moved this, is the honest answer here. I think what we should do is have that come over to, like, here. And so we'll deconstruct this for the time being. It is, again, going to put our toilet out of action, which is never a good idea. But if we can get it back up and running as soon as possible, like that, and then let's also make sure that this is a priority 9. It is. And then we're going to have the bottle emptier, like, right, still not R, there. Again, it looks a bit awkward, but I think they should be able to put stuff on top of that and get that to work just fine. Can somebody please build this? There, Nick is it Nick? Yeah, Nick is definitely not going to be happy because they're in the polluted water, which is really not great. But I think this is better. Insufficient building location. Apparently, I do have to put a tile beneath that. That is fine. That should be okay. I don't think we're going to fill this up with polluted water anytime soon. And if we do, we can always go ahead and just start to kind of rush towards getting that filtration up and running. But let me quickly just bump the priority here. Although I don't need to. The work is getting done nonetheless. Once this is done, we do want to specify that all of our polluted water needs to go into there, because otherwise all that's going to happen is our polluted bottles of water, like this one here, are just going to sit around emitting polluted oxygen, which is going to infect all of our people, which is not great. We are up to 8,000 calories again, and so I think food is fine for the time being. I noticed that Nick just gave up on that task very quickly because he was hungry. That's fine. Liquids, polluted water only. Cool. So that should get done when it needs to get done. Oxygen is looking good. Are we producing more than we use? We are, quite handily, which is good. Carbon dioxide is slowly dissipating. You know, this area here used to be fully carbon dioxide rich. Now it's somewhat breathable, which is good. This area here is still not great. I should probably move the research station maybe to, like, up here, just so that Sarah isn't working in carbon dioxide all day. That would not be great. But the bedrooms are all set up. They do need tidying because there's a lot of stuff on the floor, but sweeping is something we can do just fine. Stress is just as high as it was when we started the episode. Mostly Nick, who I think has just been doing a lot of the kind of grunt work around the base. You know, James has been doing the power, Sarah's been doing the research, and Isaac's been doing the food, and so Nick's been doing all of the water works and the grimy work and picking up everybody else's pee bottles and all that kind of stuff. And so we probably need to get our massage table back down to get Nick de-stressed again. But immune systems are still high. Nobody's getting infected with germs too badly. Food production is good. Stress is manageable. Oxygen production is also great. Water still needs work, but we can figure it out. We can get it done. But for now, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video and you would like to see more oxygen not included, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.